Okay, I'd like to show you how to do a multi-camera edit in Premiere Pro CS6 of a 3-camera shoot, and this is the way I do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get camera 1, which is a camera that will probably be used most in this edit, or be seen most, and also it's got the audio from the PA, which obviously wants to be the main audio. So that's on camera 1, which is this clip here. It's a 15-minute clip. We're not going to use all of this. I'm just going to show you a little section of it. And if I hit the backslash key, that'll bring the whole clip into view on the viewer, on the timeline. And there's quite a lot of stuff going on here. There's a few races before the one that we're going to use. The one that we're going to use, because the hero is on the bike, we're going to use this last race, which is round about this area here. I'm just going to find the spot where it's going to start roughly. They're lining up there just about, getting ready to go there.
Over these 6 laps.
I'm just going to hit the plus key a few times to get a bit nearer so we can see the waveforms.
Okay.
Now that OK is going to be the start point or the edit point. So first of all, I'm going to get rid of the stuff I don't need before it. So I'm going to hit C for cut. If I hit shift and cut there, it will cut the whole 4 clips. There's 4 audio tracks on this. It's a BMW 350 camera, and it produces 4 audio tracks. So I'm just going to delete all that lot there because we're not going to use it. I'm going to hit the left click and then right click for ripple delete, and ripple delete that. Hit the backslash key again, which will bring that whole clip into view on the viewer again. So at the beginning we've got our OK where we're going to start. We've got the race on there, and it's going to finish round about.
The Sunday here at the London Motorcycle Show. On the top of the tabletop.
Now we'll probably finish there. That's so I'm just going to drag all this back, and that is what we're going to use, that section there. Now with 4 audio tracks there, tracks or channels 3 and 4 we don't need, so I'm going to get rid of those. I'm going to click and select the whole clip, right click and go for unlink, and then delete the last 2 clips there, and that will leave us with channel 1 and channel 2. And you can see in the audio section we've got the 2 tracks there. So if I just play track or channel 1, that is just the PA audio. Now looking at the main VU meter here, we'll see that we need to be -6 on the sound. Just a tad loud. I'm going to drop it down just a section there. That looks about perfect. And then I'm going to bring in some ambient sound, just to give it a bit of atmosphere and the crowd noise, etc.
With determination, that's the second lap done. We're on lap 3.
So about there, I would say. And then the next thing to do is get the camera 2 track, which is there. Bring that in again, and I'm going to look for the start of that race on this shot. It's the same, not exactly the same, but it's the same length roughly. It looks to be about there. Going to plus and get into the track a little bit more. Before we even do this, I'm going to get rid of, I'm just going to go back out again and get rid of these last 2 tracks. So I'm going to do the same thing I did before, just select the clip, right click, unlink, and lose actually the last 3 tracks. I only need this track to sync up, that's all I need it for. So we've got 1 track left, and we're looking for this OK. And there it is there. So there's the OK. And what I'm going to do to get really within a frame, I'm going to use the arrow keys there to go 1 frame at once, and on the O, or the syllable, which is that one, I'm going to cut there, and again I'm going to delete the select V and select these two clips like this and delete those. I'm going to go back to the first camera track and I'm going to put a marker where that syllable is. So it would be there, and I'm going to press M on the keyboard and that'll give me a marker at the top there. I don't know what that one's doing, let me just delete that one. Just clear that marker, clear current marker. So that's the marker we need, that one there, which is the first where the syllable starts. OK. Then I'm going to hit backslash again so I can see the whole clip. I'm also going to move this up to track 3 because I know that's going to be used the most. And then I'm going to move this one back in to, I don't even need the audio, although having said that I think I will use it. So we'll see what it sounds like. It might be better than the other track 2 we've got on there. So that means bringing that back there, so they're equal. And that is absolutely in sync now. Okay, we all come understand. That's fine. Okay. So all I need to do is bring that back there and there. I'm just going to have a listen to see if that ambient track might be better than the one from camera 1. Okay, we all come. What we've got there is the PA sound and the second camera sound, which has got more crowd noise because it's actually in the crowd. Come under starters orders. And just like the top of Bray Hill, I'll turn that off and let's have a listen. Tap them on the shoulders and send them on their way. Are we ready? Are we steady? They're gone anyway. Yeah, we could use that as the ambient track. So what we'll do is we'll just tidy that one up there, bring this back to there. So those two cameras are now synced up. And we will use the audio from camera 2 on track 1. So I'm going to delete that audio, move that one up, and there we've got our audio just about sorted out there. Turn the tracks back on, there and there. Into the left-hander. Oh, there's a bit of corner cutting. That sounds fine. Now all we need to do is get the GoPro footage, which is here. Let's have a look at that. And get to the spot roughly. We'll zoom in a little bit there. He's on the ramp. And just go back a little bit. We're looking for the OK now. Come out a little bit.
Some 8 shows that we've done, still they're talking tactics on how they can get an advantage.
It's coming up in a second.
Over these 6 laps. Okay.
There it is. So there's our OK. We're going to do the same thing we did before. There's the first syllable coming up there. Let's do a cut there. And V to select that tool, delete. And we're going to shove that on that track, on track 2. Might be a good idea to look at this sound as well on this, because we've got the sound of the bikes on the GoPro. Might be good, might not be, don't know. Let's have a look. So that's going to go to the marker. Just zoom in there so we can see the marker.
Okay.
There, the GoPro's right on the marker for the OK, and then we're just going to move that back. So that again is synced.
Hey, we all come under starters orders, and just like the top of Bray Hill, I'll tap them on the shoulder.
I suppose it's a matter of experimenting. Let's turn off camera 2 track 1, which is that one, and listen to it with the GoPro sound and the audio sound from the PA.
Shoulders and send them on their way. Are we ready? Are we steady? They're gone anyway.
Yeah, that sounds good. We've got the bikes there, right in amongst the bikes with a GoPro. So it's not brilliant sound, but it's just ambient. That's all we need. Let's get into the middle of the race. It's obviously too loud at that point, so drop it down a little bit. And we could use the whole lot. Maybe just a little bit of 2 and a bit more of the GoPro sound.
This is still the electric bike. It's losing out in power. But what he loses out in power, Michael Dunlop makes up for with determination. That's the second lap done. We're on lap 3.
Let's turn on track 2.
Jamie Whittam leads.
Yeah, that's probably good. We've got 3 audio tracks there. Main PA on 1, camera 2, channel 1 on there, and the GoPro sound on there. So that's pretty good. We've got quite a mix there. Let's just check the main audio on the videos on the main, on the master. We can see the master's there. Well, at this point we can delete the tracks we don't need. So all you do for that is you click on the audio, right click, delete tracks, and then if you tick delete audio tracks, all empty tracks like that, we'll just have the 3 tracks that we need. And there's the master. So let's tidy that up there. Let's bring that back to there. Now we've got 3 cameras all in sync, and we've got some audio all sorted out there. Just checking the videos, they're not going much above, they are going above 6, so I'm going to knock the master down. So about there. Yeah, that's good. So there we are. We've got 3 audio tracks, 3 video tracks. The next thing we've got to do is make our edit decisions on where they're going to cut. So to do that, all we do is we right click in the project window and we create a new item, a new sequence. And I'm going to stick to the same EX project settings that I've got there. I'm just going to call that multicam. Excuse me, multicam. And all we do is we get the previous sequence, which is called all cams, and I'm going to put that in there. Now the only thing we don't get when we do that is the 2 other audio tracks are not there. It's just taken track 1. So I go back to all cams. I'm just going to copy tracks 2 and 3. I'm going to unlink first because it's still linked to that to camera 2. I'm going to select those and copy. Go back to multicam, select channels 2 and 3 audio, Control V, and then I've got the tracks back. The levels are not right because it's a new sequence, so we've just got to redo those levels. So PA sound up, camera 2 sound down.
Michael Dunlop has the advantage from Jamie Whittam, nearly losing his front wheel. His John McGuinness.
And then the overall level down to -6 again.
Second place is still the electric bike. He's losing out in power, but what he losing out in power.
Yeah, that's fine. So there we are. That's sorted. The next thing to do is select the main sequence, right click, and click on multi-camera enable. And that has now made that clip a multi-camera clip, and for us to be able to see that, we go to the window and we open multi-camera monitor, and we can see all 3 cameras and the output section there. Now because we've finished with the audio, we're quite happy with that. We could make a little bit more room. I like to do this and bring this down so I can see, move that up so we can see the tracks, and make the multi-camera monitor bigger so we can see more there like that. Okay, so now as we move across here and as we move across and as we scrub across here, we can see we've got all 3 cameras that we can see.
I'll tap them on the shoulder to send them on their way. Are we ready? Are we steady? They're gone anyway. Right,
so you can see all 3 cameras are in sync. We've got the bike camera there, obviously. Camera 2 and camera 1. Now, as we can see, normally the cameramen are obviously swinging about because they've got the best shot at certain times of the race, and you lose the bikes behind the hill, etc. So we've got to be careful and cut to the correct camera before the camera moves.
Electric bikes the lead. Michael Dunlop has it.
So in that case, the safest shot on this is the bike camera, because the bike camera is always going to be the same. It's always got some action on it, so I would use that as a safety camera. But the best shots are probably from 1 and 2, so that's an edit decision you've got to make, and you just go through it. And all you do on multi-camera, if you go to the beginning, set it playing, you can either hit numbers 1, 2, 3 on the keyboard to select the cameras, like that. That's 1, 2, 3. or you can just hit the window like that and select the cameras, and that's all you need to do. If you press play, if say we're going to start on camera 2, because it's got the line up there, it's quite a nice shot, we hit play and off we go.
Okay, we all come under starters orders.
Little shot from the onboard camera, back to 2, onto 1, and to 2, and onto GoPro, camera 1, camera 2, GoPro, camera 1.
Oh, there's a bit of corner cutting, but it's the electric bikes that lead. Michael Dunlop has the advantage from Jamie Whittam.
And so on and so forth. And as you can see, as we've done that, it's cut the cuts there on the main sequence line there. If you make a mistake, you can just go back and correct it. If we look at that now, what we've done so far, we turn off that multi-camera monitor and watch it on here.
Okay.
This is the decision we've done.
Just like the top of Ray Hill, I'll tap them on the shoulder to send them on their way. Are we ready? Are we steady? They're gone anyway.
There's a little bit there where the camera 1 just veered off, so we can go back. I'm just using the arrow keys to go back. That's fine. I'm happy with that. Now, just there, the camera just started waving off there. So I get that. So just before it moves, about there, if we zoom in on the timeline, all we do is bring that back there to that point, and then we'd start using the onboard camera a few frames early. So you can make tweaks afterwards.
Okay.
So
we all come under
there we go.
orders. And just like the top of Ray Hill, I'll tap them on the shoulder to send them on their way. Are we ready? Are we steady? They're gone anyway. Into the left-hander. Oh, there's a bit of corner cutting, but it's the electric.
So on and so forth, and you get to the end after all the cutting and export the video. So I'll just pause there. Okay, welcome back. The edit is complete. I've just finished that little section off. Let's have a look. And here we go.
Okay, we all come under starters orders. And just like the top of Ray Hill, I'll tap them on the shoulder.
Just done a bit of tweaking here and there. I'm quite happy with this now. Just change the start a little bit. Same principle, just clicking on the 1, 2 or 3.
There's a bit of corner cutting, but it's the electric bikes that lead. Michael Dunlop has the advantage from Jamie Whittam. Nearly.
Now, as you can probably tell, there's a little bit of colour correction needs doing on the GoPro, and to do that, what we could do is go back to the original track, find the GoPro, which is, if we look at this, that is camera 1. We turn camera 1 off, and there's a GoPro underneath. If we click on the GoPro and perhaps just add a colour correction filter, let's find it on here, and we just want the basic colour correction. This one will do. We throw that on the track and open the effects controls and click on that, and if we just probably go to Procamps, and we can see if we look at the camera 1, it's quite bright and colourful, has a little bit more contrast, the blacks are better, whereas the GoPro is a little bit insipid, the blacks are a bit grey. So if we increase the contrast levels on that, as you can see, that increases the blacks, and that black level is now a little bit better. Perhaps that's too much. If we go about there, increase the saturation a little bit to say 120%, 119 looks thereabouts, and let's have a look at that. Yeah, perhaps a little bit of brightness, just a little bit, maybe about 5%. That's looking a little bit more like the BMW 350. There's about £15,000 difference in the price, but that's as near as we're going to get.
Into the left-hander. Oh, it's a bit of corner cutting.
And if we look at the 350 again, there's a slight colour temperature difference as well. It's a little bit warmer on the GoPro than the 350. So let's just warm that up a bit, and to do that, or cool it down I should say, let's cool down the GoPro. If we go for colour balance, I've just typed in balance. Oops, let's get rid of that first, balance. And we'll see colour balance RGB, get that one, put that on there, and find it in the effects controls. There it is. We just need to take the red out a little bit. Take a little bit of red out there, say 90-ish. Just increase the blue slightly there. 108. Let's just perhaps turn that up a little bit. Let's say 95. Now if we look at the 350 and GoPro, it's looking about the same. Also the other 350 is a little bit bright, so let's just do a colour balance on that. Let's find the filter, choose that one again, pop that on that one, and we'll go to Proc Amps again and just turn that down a tad, 5 say, and now that's matching up a little bit better. Turn those cameras back on, go back to multicam, and that does affect, so you'll notice the red line has appeared here. So those bits need rendering, because those are the bits where the cameras, as we scrub through there, you can see camera 1, camera 2, GoPro. The GoPro is looking very much like the same colours now as a 350. So just render that out. That just took a while to do that. And we're just about there now. Okay, that's just finishing off now.
Okay.
And let's have a look now.
And just like the top of Bray Hill, I'll tap them on the shoulder to send them on their way. Are we ready? Are we steady? They're gone anyway. Into the left-hander. Oh, it's a bit of corner cutting, but it's the electric bike's the lead. Michael Dunlop has the advantage from Jamie Whittam, nearly losing his front wheel.
So what you see now, that the colours now look pretty much matching as much as I can, or as near as I can get them. Yep, happy with that. And that's it really. So that's how I do the multicam edit, and a little bit of colour correction as well. Okay, see you next time.